Hello, everybody! New episode of Confessions with a Facilitator, a mini Zoom series dedicated to facilitators and their favorite tools. And for those of you who don't know what we are speaking about here, let me just, give you the picture. The tools of access consciousness, this huge toolbox where you go, you pick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many tools you want, and you change your life, just like this, just by magic, on one condition, that you choose for it. So today I have the pleasure, the surprise, and the curiosity, and so much fun, because it's my body starts to dance, to have with me
Mehlika Tanriverdi.
I asked her to say her name because I have no idea how to pronounce it. So I just manipulated her into presenting herself.
No.
Mehlika or Mehlika?
Mehlika.
Mehlika. Before we start, there are two things that you have to know. The rule number 1 is that we have fun. Okay. And rule number 2, because we have to have 2 rules. When rule number 1 doesn't apply, we go to rule number 2, and rule number 2 says, have fun. Apply for rule number 1. So I'll just look into your eyes, deeply into your eyes, and ask you, Mehlika, who are you? And what is your favorite tool?
I love that question.
Everybody loves them.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So my name is Mehlika. And I have been many different people in this lifetime, actually, because I've gone through so many different periods of experiencing this world. And now, in the moment, I'm a CF. I'm a certified facilitator for access consciousness tools. I'm a Ride Riches for You intro silver facilitator. I am a painter. I'm making my living from my paintings.
How cool is that?
It is. And I use the access consciousness tools, and that's why I'm so successful.
Shit, you just said it's successful with the tools of access consciousness. How can that be?
It's magic. And nobody else can do it. Actually, it's just me.
I can't.
Nobody. Just me.
Give me your tool. Give me your tool. I'll show you. Give me your tool.
So my favorite tool that I've been using for a very long time is, who or what else can I add to my success?
Who or what else can I add to my success?
Exactly.
What do you mean? Are you adding people to your success?
As well as other things. It's just following the energy, asking the question, how the access consciousness tools work is you ask a question and then you look what's coming up. You're present, you expand yourself, and then you follow the energy. And when you ask a question, there comes up an energy. And with that one, it's really especially it includes that I'm successful. So I am already it. I don't have to look for it.
I'm already it. I don't have to look for it. This is wow. Okay, go on. Don't stop now.
And who or what is really to look for the people, the situations, the moments, the happenings, the beings. What I also do is I talk to my paintings, or my artworks. It's not always paintings because I work with different techniques, and I just ask them what they want to be on, if they want to be on wood or on canvas or whatever else they want to be. And I talk to them.
Wait a minute. Are you one of those weird people talking to stuff?
Am I? What do you know? Selena.
That's like coming home. That's like being in the playground. Yes, I'm not the only one. Yes.
It is so funny because I work so much with the tools that I don't even realize that it is weird for people that other do stuff like that. Yeah.
That other people don't use them.
Exactly. Right? That other people don't use them, that other people would not use them because they would think it's weird, and they would have a point of view about it. I don't have a point of view about it. I would just go like, hey, what do you want to look like? What do you want to be on? What do you want to have? And then you get energies, and that's what's so interesting. It's energies. It's not like the painting talks back to me and is like, hey, like actually in the meantime I can read the energy as if they would talk to me. But it's been a bit of practice.
Oh, that's where, because you know, when you said it before, you said you follow the energy. Is this energy that comes up and you follow the energy? Okay, cool. But how the beep can I know what is that energy? And I mean, did you know it from the beginning? Well,
no.
Was it like,
and I was not trusting
you woke
myself and my being as well, like, and my knowing. I wasn't trusting any of it. Like, I really bought into this reality and how it works. Like, I'm a single mom, and I finished the studies with, I have a master's degree in literature and anthropology, and I became my son, and I was like, I just bought so into it. I was like, oh, I'm a single mom and I can't earn much money, and I have to do different things, so I can't earn money with making art. That was like my point of view. I was like, okay, I have to learn something else. So I became a yoga teacher, and I was like, okay, this is not working either. I would have to work like hundreds of hours to make the money I would love to have. So I just expanded my life and added up stuff. And the question I was living off was like, what else could I add to my life? And that was like the question before, was life, that would make me fun. So I was like looking for something that would be fun for me. So I became a yoga teacher, and I love to teach yoga. I teach yoga in businesses still, and I love
yoga in businesses.
Yes, so I go into the business, and of course I don't use any access tools with that in that area of my life.
Not loud, possibly.
It's so much fun. And then I go and they do their break during the day, and in that break I give them a yoga lesson, and they are really relaxed afterwards. And then that was one of the main...
Poor guys, this must be terrible.
It's horrible. They hate me.
I know.
They're like, we're so relaxed now, how shall we work?
How can we go on with our crazy lives now that we're completely relaxed and we don't have a clue why it happened?
Yeah, and we don't have a point of view, and we just like, so wow. Yeah. And it's about the energy you be, right? It's like being the energy of having fun, of enjoying life, of inviting more and more to it and expanding it through doing that. And that's the question: who or what else could I add to my success?
Wait, I'm just going to go back, not going to back, but just, you know, to take something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you said in the beginning it was, what else can I add to my life? Yeah. When did it change for your success? Well, because the question that you brought in the beginning was what, who, and that was like, who, and what else can I add to the success of my life?
My success.
To my success. Sorry, to my success. Selena, you should take notes. So, when did it shift? Or what made it shift? Or where was this? You know.
Like, I was taking so many classes and translating access classes as well. And at one point...
What language?
German. German language. So I'm a translator for access, by the way, on top of all the other things I do.
The cherry on top, like the little sprinkles of...
yeah, and I so enjoy it. And on that way somewhere, like, it was like, I really started off with translating energy pools. And that's something I'm offering in the moment as well, because that is exactly what it is about. It's about learning, like getting to know the energy you're asking for. So most of the people don't even know what they're asking for. They don't even spend a minute on thinking about, oh, that's the life I would like to have. Oh, it's not really fitting to what I'm having right now, so I might change it. It's rather like, I'm functioning in this reality. I go to work, I do my stuff, I have my children, and they have
I don't have any other choice. This is it. This is how it is. What is the use of asking questions anyway? It's not going to change.
It's not going to work. And it has to be hard, and it is as it is, and I can't change it. And there's like so many lies we buy into. Exactly. It's like, and we just buy it because everybody works like that, functions like that. And then you go and are like, oh, there is something called access consciousness. They have got tools and I could just use them and try it. And it was really like, someone said, hey, just try it. And I was like, yeah, why not? And then I got my bars run and I was like, wow, I went into my yoga exams. I had my bars run for the first time before my yoga exams.
And
I was so relaxed. And you have to know, before that, like when I did my master's degree, I was in therapy because I was so stressed out because of my the work I wrote. And I was like, I had like depressions, like everything in this reality, everything was so hard. And I was afraid. So I postponed my exams all the time. So it took me like 3 years to do my exams because I was so afraid of having that situation of being examined and being getting a grade,
questioned and judged
exactly
for whatever you were forgetting in their precious manual.
Exactly. And then
wow.
You get this bars and you're like, oh, I'm so relaxed as I was never before. So it's like, hey, what was that? And then I of course I questioned it again. I was like, oh, maybe it was just like I thought it was working, or maybe I was just relaxed that day.
Don't we all do that? And then we go into trying to understand how it works and diminishing. How many times does it ever happen to you that you have this whoa, and then you think about it and you want to talk about it and you want to tell people about it, and the more you talk about, the more you, because people are looking at you like, what are you talking about? And then you reach this point and said, oh, never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it was the bars. Yeah. It was the exam.
And then I did a bars class, and then I started exchanging bars like regularly each week. And that made a major shift. Like that was like the beginning of the change of my life. And yesterday I met a girl and she was like, you changed so much and you get brighter and you shine and you are having fun and traveling around. And I was like, yeah, fuck, I choose it. Like I'm choosing it every moment. I have choice, and I go into, okay, what do I want to create in my life? And that's what I do with the energy pulls. Like that's so amazing. Every day we go into the energy of what would I like my life to be like? What would I like my future to be like? What energy can I be to pull that into my life?
But then I have this clarity, this the clarity question. Has it always been clear to you what you wanted, or it started some point when you had this click of saying, oh, you know what? Because you said somebody told you changed so much, and I know when we're using the tools, we are like, yeah, of course I changed. I'm not the same as I was 10 seconds ago. So what? So, but for people who haven't seen us for a while, and who haven't, who just got us fixed into a very nice position. So this is the Selena I know. So whenever something shifts over there, oh, you changed, which is okay, because this is what they perceive. But then you say, hell yeah, I choose for it. So was it always so easy to go for the choice of the change, or is it something that you kind of, experienced and you trained yourself to go through? Because personally, I don't know about you, it might be none of you, only me. But when I started to choose for the change, it wasn't always comfortable. No, I had those moments when I said, you know what, fuck that. I was happier back then.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, I know you didn't. Nobody else did. I'm like, the ugly duckling. It happens. That shit happens to the best of us. And then, but then again, it took a few classes, a few major changes.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I let go of the need of seeing a big change, to acknowledge the change.
Mm-hmm. That's
and then
very beautiful what you're saying, yeah.
To acknowledge that I have been choosing for it without really you take a pen and a paper and say, I choose this.
Yeah.
And then in my case, it molded into one choice to another choice to another choice to another choice. And it's possibly because I was following the energy. I was looking for the same energy that, that brought something that wasn't that uncomfortable, but it was so light and sparkling and shining and whatever that was.
So for me, it's really interesting because I am a chooser. Like there is different ways to create. You can pot and pock stuff and dissolve it, or you can directly choose. I'm very much of a chooser. So I didn't use pot and pocks very often when I started with X's. So I'm using it more and more now that I realize there is like a really limitation or something that's holding me back.
Just one second. For those for you who do not know what pot and pock is, the clearingstatement.com. Dr. Dane here, the co-founder of Access Consciousness, gives a fabulous explanation on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I was always choosing more and different, and I was very rebellious. And that is really interesting because for me, it's a different way of creating my life. So I was always creating my life from a different point. And it started off with rebellion, like with going against my family and being like, oh, you say I can't do it. You can't do that. And I was like, of course I can do it. Never tell a humanoid you can't do anything, because he goes like, of course I will. I just don't tell you. Or I will just do it. And
I will just mess up all your world and life because I will do it.
Yeah. And that's what I did. Like I traveled the world on my own after my studies. I was like, hey, I just booked the flight around the world. My parents were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, no, really? I did. So I traveled around the world for 1.5 years. Wow. And it's like I just chose. And then I had difficult times there too, but it was nothing bad happened to me because I never had the point of view something bad could happen to me. So your point of view creates your reality, not the other way around. So it's really interesting to look at that. And now that I look at it, I'm like, okay, cool. I was always choosing, and I'm still, but now I'm even more aware. So now I can realize where I struggle, where I still struggle, or where I go into rebellion and I don't choose from choice and the freedom of choice, but from going into resistance of being like, of course I can choose that. But it's rather like, do I really want to choose it? And does it create the future I would like to have?
Oh, wait. It still happens to you? I mean, you're not God on legs. No, you're not.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
And I thought I was interviewing one of those gods, because the whole idea of this series was to show people that we are, first of all, people, that we choose for more. Exactly. Every day, and that
in every moment
and every 10 seconds, and we choose. But we sometimes as you said it, sometimes it's like, okay, what's going to create more, but sometimes it's like, no, I need to prove myself that I can do that. Is that really a choice?
Exactly, it's not.
And what will this create? And who do you still feel that you have to prove something to? Maybe it's mom, maybe it's dad, maybe it's your ex-lover, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's yourself. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to just choose without having them into the equation?
Exactly. Yeah. Isn't that?
Yeah.
And it's so much fun when you realize it and you're like, oh, there is another point of view. Oh, there's another rebellion. Oh, there is another resistance.
I'm doing it again. Yeah. I'm doing it again just because I can.
And the funny thing, there is like a split second where you can choose for something different. And the more you practice, the more you get aware of those split seconds where you can choose something different. And then you have the of choice, the freedom of choice. The space of choice
and all the possibilities, because and that, thank you for the split second, because it's that split second that's going to make it or kill it. Exactly. It's that split second that's going to say, okay, I choose to be, or I choose to prove. Mm-hmm. And then
what I realized is like that still people go like into the wrongness of them then, and they're like, oh, I didn't, and I'm so bad and I'm so stupid. And I'm like, hey, no, what if you just take it, like, make fun out of it? And you're like, okay, I did it again. This is really fucking funny. I'm like, okay, cool. What else is possible? What else can I choose that I haven't chosen before? And really, like, be playful with it. Be light and easy with it. Because the moment you make yourself wrong, you just go into that cutting off yourself and
it's
going
like
into the energy where you're like,
you take a chainsaw and you start cutting pieces of you, and there's blood all over, and then it takes too much time to clean it up.
Yeah.
So how much fun could you have with all that?
Yeah.
What if there's no good choice or wrong choice, or just choice?
Just that you choose. And that's something that I find really, really interesting, because it's like, hey, how often do we choose drama and trauma in our life? But to
I'm sorry, I never
but to realize that you choose it, and you can choose it, and you're in allowance of everything, and you're like, oh cool, I'm choosing drama, so for how long do I want to choose it now? And it's a choice. And the moment it becomes a choice, you can always choose something else. And to realize that you choose depression, you choose everything in your life, you create and you choose it. And the moment you take that responsibility, it changes everything, because then you can change everything.
So you're actually telling me that depression is not something that happens to people? That people choose for depression? That people choose for their shit in their lives? Are you telling me that? How can it be possible?
I know. That's something where so much resistance comes up as well, because people are like, hey, that's a sickness, and that's something where we have a really different point of view in access consciousness, which is really like, you create everything in your life. You take the responsibility for creating everything. You can change everything. You sold other people, you're like, oh, it's your fault or your fault, and it's because of that and that and that. You give away your power, and you become the victim of the situation. The moment you say, okay, I created it, what else can I choose? What did I do to create this in my life?
And how can I use this in my advantage?
Yeah. Or how can I just change it?
Yeah.
And when you look at people who are sick or create sicknesses, they take advantages out of it. That's why they created it. So when you look at something and you're like, okay, I created this sickness. Okay, what advantage do I have? Like, what did I ask for? How did I create it? What did I ask for that I have now that I didn't acknowledge because of that sickness? And it's mostly like that people care for them. They have more time for themselves. They get cared by others. It's like really interesting to look into that kind of stuff. It's really difficult and hard for people to look at it and be like really honest with them.
Yeah, but maybe it's easy with you. I have some difficulties with there. I'm like, I'm there's there's that saying in Access, be bluntly honest with yourself and lie me as much as you want. And then it's like, I know how to lie myself better than anybody else. So when you don't, right? It's only me. Okay, cool. It's only for me, so it doesn't concern you. But it's that moment when the intensity of the truth, it's almost unbearable. And you have the courage to look it into the eyes and say, okay, shit, this is what I'm doing. Is it working for me?
Exactly.
Actually, no, but maybe sometimes, but most of the times it doesn't. So if it works for you, keep it. If it doesn't work for you, there is nothing that you cannot change.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And
I'll go back with the question, with the who, because this is what, like, who can I add to my success?
It's so funny. My mind went actually immediately to what can I add to my success?
And I went to who can I add to my success? Funny.
And what do you want to know about it?
I want you to tell me about how you add people to your success.
How? It's really following the energy. Like, I have like 2 people in my team in the moment, which is amazing for me because I just started being a certified facilitator, and I didn't have a like expanding business before, but I'm adding up to it.
How does it get any better than that?
How does it? And really, it's like it was following the energy. So someone asked me to host me for a bars class, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I was hosted, and I loved her energy, and she's so supportive. And she was like, do you think I could work for you? And I was like, yeah, sure. I need someone. And now I got all the stuff I don't like away. And that's something I love. Like, usually I had the point of view that I am good in doing stuff, and I'm very quick. I am very quick. And I can do it very good, but it's so nice to give away stuff. So I just added another person who's helping me with my classes in the moment. So it's like my business is expanding, and so I'm still looking for people in case you're interested in what I do and want to add.
Sign up right here.
I love to add people, and then it's like it's a contribution to them and to me. We just had that contribution class in Venice in the moment, like a couple of days ago, and it's like, what contribution can I be for consciousness? What contribution can I be for the people around me? And what contribution can I receive?
Oh, I think that's where we would start another topic for another time.
Yeah.
What contribution can I receive?
Yeah.
Because for some reason we are willing, I am willing to be of a contribution, but when it comes to the contribution, receiving the contribution of the outside world and receiving me as a contribution, there's where I go into a okay, what is the question that I have to ask here, because it's not coming naturally.
Exactly.
So,
and that's what's so nice, Elena. That's just something you can do. You can just go into, okay, what question could I ask here? If you don't have questions, just start somewhere. Just start asking questions to open up the spaces, because every question you ask opens up a space for you. And every time you go into a projection, conclusion, a decision, it just closes up the doors, and there's no possibilities, because it is what it is, and it gets solid.
It gets to a
the other
conclusion.
thing I wanted to go into was like, what else can I add to my life or success? People go like, oh my God, I don't want to add more, because there's so many things I have in my life, and so many people, and so many, right? And that's something like, if you would love to let go of that point of view, guys, that would change so much, because it doesn't mean you have to add like more that makes you heavier and is more of work for you. But what if you could add stuff that makes you more ease, more light, less work, or whatever it is? It's like,
may I go there into one example? Like when you're a mom.
Yeah, perfect.
And you ask this question, who else and what else can I add to my life? That's not the space of who else and what else can I add to my life. It's like, okay, who else and what else can I add to my life to ease up whatever I'm doing right now? That means that kids can learn how to wash dishes, kids can learn how to clean the house. Yeah. You can also bring the husband's partners in. You can look for a cleaning lady. You can look for I don't know what, something or someone that will you add into your life to make more space into your life.
Exactly.
How about that?
And you can also add like going to a spa into your life, or going for a walk, just like tiny things as well. Or like the smell of lavender, if it gives you more space. It's like, it can be the tiniest things. It doesn't have to be like huge, big, I have to add this and this. It can also be the small things that add up to make you more ease into your daily life, and to add up that it becomes more beautiful and more light and ease-filled. Mm-hmm. But who wants that?
I do. I actually do. Mehlika, thank you so much for this fun and bright and inspired conversation, and phenomenal question. I'm still stuck on the who can I add into my life, and I'm so grateful to be able to witness how you do that. Every time the facilitators come and talk about their tools, it's for me also getting a new perspective on how I could use them for myself, first of all. I'm a bit selfish there, so I have to admit. So it's like, it's like, wow, each and every one of us has a different energy and a different way of looking into it. And it's like, how much richer can I get with, with all these exchanges?
Yeah.
But thank you so much for having been here with us.
Thank you.
And before we say goodbye and, the kisses, and where do people find you if they want to stalk you?
On Facebook, they can find me, Mehlika Tanriverdi. Maybe we just put it underneath.
I will.
And you can find my paintings on Instagram. You can find, I have a webpage with my name, mehlikatanriverdi.com. And there's like everything you can do with me and buy paintings or come and have classes. Like, there is so many possibilities.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure being with you.
And let's do it like, we have the ending. And now, peeps, until next time, live or virtually somewhere else, all of life comes to us with
ease, joy, and glory. Bye.
Bye.